Welcome to the Mask Leadership Community episode 033, where leaders create more leaders. My name is Yugandhar, currently working in Everest IMS Technologies as HR executive. The Mask Leadership is started with the specific objective of creating 1,000 plus leaders, where all the working professionals, business leaders, people share their real-time challenges, either leading self, leading others, or leading the business on our website www.themaskleadership.com. We see all the challenges, filter them, and every week on Wednesday, we invite a top management leader from a corporate company who will be giving solutions for our real-time challenges on leadership. That's when we call as leaders create more leaders. Currently, all are muted, and we will be giving an opportunity to speak to our guest, Mr. V.R. Mahadevan. But before that, let me also share that we are currently live on YouTube, Facebook, and this episode is being recorded. So, are we all ready to interact with our guest on the topic moving away from comfort zones? Please type yes in the chat box if we are ready. That's great. Thank you. Before the introduction of the guest, let me also take the privilege to introduce founder of the Mask Leadership Community, Mr. Prakash Sharma, who will have interaction with our guest today.
Thank you very much, Yugender. That's been really good and interesting introduction you've given about the Mask Leadership Leaders Connect community. So welcome all the participants, visitors, as well as the guest. And today, as per the guest request, we have also given you the opportunity to unmute your own self. So most probably we all can quickly click on the unmute button to unmute yourself. So the session or the episode is going to be more interactive today, and that's how the guest is looking forward. So to know more about the guest's personal experience, I would request again Yugender to share about the guest, and then followed by a professional video about our guest, Mr. V.R. Mahadevan. So over to you, Yugender.
Now it's a privilege to introduce about our guest, Mr. V.R. Mahadevan, currently working as Advisory and ex-joint MD, BGR Energy Systems Limited. Mr. Mahadevan's spouse, Mrs. Bhuneshwari, working as teacher, and they are blessed with two daughters, Preeti Mahadevan, working in Google, and Shruti Mahadevan, working in Deloitte. And Mr. Mahadevan's hobbies are reading, travel, and his favorite sports are cricket, playing shuttle, and TT. Over to you, Prakash. Prakash, you are in mute.
Thank you very much, Yugender, for sharing about the personal experiences of our guest today. So members as well as visitors, we also have a video introduction to understand about the professional experience about our guest. And then is where we will be introducing the guest to you for the topic, moving away from comfort zones. But before we do that, kindly answer in the chat box here. Do you all think that do we need to move away from comfort zone? Yes or no? Kindly type in the chat box. What do you feel? Is it necessary to move ourselves from our comfort zones? All the members as well as the visitors who have joined us here, please type in the chat box yes or no. Most of them are saying yes. To get more understanding about the guest, thanks very much. And about the guest, let's have a video played here now. So to understand the professional experience about our guest, Mr. V.R. Mahadevan. So here is the video going to start. great. And kindly type in the chat box, welcome Mr. Mahadevan, and Mr. Mahadevan is here with us for the specific topic. Welcome, sir.
Good evening, Mr. Prakash. Good evening, and it's a pleasure to be with all of you here today evening. It's about a month back that I met up with Mr. Prakash on some assignment, and he mentioned he was asking me whether I can share my thoughts with this group. I told him, let you send me what you want, what you would like me to do, and let us see. So he sent me a set of topics. One mind that struck me very clearly, and that was getting out of the comfort zone. The reason is, I think this is the one quality which has changed my life, right? I would say you can forget all the management programs. You focus on getting out of your comfort zone, you are sure to be a very big success in life. So I said, I gladly agree, and here I am.
Wow, wonderful, wonderful. Thanks very much, Mahadev, sir, in fact, for accepting the request shared. And I should really thank Ms. Lalita also for referring me to you. And that's how we all have been connecting each other. So, great. And I really like the point what you told Mr. Mahadevan about when we are able to move away from our comfort zone, even management degrees are really not required. That's really true, I agree. In fact, that's just a degree, but how in reality what we need to do makes a huge difference. And that's when we are here to know more about how we can really move away from the comfort zones from you, Mr. Mahadevan sir. So that's nice. And so we have a list of questions which is being collated in our community, which we have received, where people have shared that what the challenges are there to move away from the comfort zones, and those are what we're going to ask you today. And please do help us and guide us in sharing your experiences so that all our leaders here will also be benefited. And let me also give you a quick background about our leaders here, sir. All the leaders who have joined us today are working professionals, and most of them are also from businesses and working professionals, mainly working professionals from different industry. It could be from IT, manufacturing, banking, or in fact financial services or retail. And they are from different hierarchies, from different functions also they have been here with us. So everyone has a varied years of experience, and sure your experience is going to help each one of the leaders here, and that's when we are calling it as leaders creating more and more leaders. So if all set, maybe go ahead with the questions, Mr. Mahadevan sir.
Sure.
Great. So sir, first we have a question is, maybe in your view, what do you feel about comfort zone means what in your view, and how a person can identify whether he or she is actually undergoing that I am in a comfort zone mode. So that's the first question, and I would request you to go ahead, sir.
Okay, before we get into an answer for your question,
sure.
Let us inspire ourselves with a couple of stories of people who have moved out of their comfort zone and hit the jackpot. Okay.
Great.
I'm sure every participant here knows about Reliance Industries, right? If you are in India and you don't know Reliance Industries, it's a surprise.
Great.
The founder of Reliance Industries, Mr. Dhirubhai Ambani, can anybody say what he started as? Can anybody in the participants say what he started his life as, career as?
A paper boy?
Yeah.
Paper distribution person?
Yeah, he started as a paper distribution person, and then he moved on to become a petrol pump attendant.
Petrol pump attendant, yeah.
Yeah, and finally, he set up an empire which is in Forbes top 100 companies in the world, right? And he was in his comfort zone. He was in Yemen and he was a petrol pump attendant. You know, many Indians who are settled in the Gulf, quite happy. He would have maybe not had a great job, but it would have been better than what his family had in the previous generation. But he took it to a completely different level, which nobody would have thought of at that time. What about another person whom all of us are familiar with? He is in the current league, and Mr. Mahendra Singh Dhoni.
Oh.
He was
what did he start his career as?
He was in railways. Railways.
Correct.
Yeah, he was a ticket checker at railways.
Yes.
And today, what is he? It's amazing. If he has been in his comfort zone, I mean, somebody in railways, how many people can afford to leave their job and look at the next level of growth? It has been an amazing transformation. Okay, I think here we are looking at legends.
Correct.
Maybe we are. Time will tell. Some of you in the participants, maybe you are such legends. Time will tell. Maybe we are not. But even if we are not legends, going to become legends, we can certainly become somebody really worthy, right? If we get out of our comfort zone, we can become somebody really worthy. And to do that, I think we have to start with Mr. Prakash's question on what is a comfort zone.
Correct.
Now, you have to do a self-assessment here. I mean, there is nothing like what it is, and to understand whether you are in a comfort zone. But before that, I will just go into a textbook description of what a comfort zone is, and we will discuss more about it. The textbook description says it's a behavioral state of mind within which we work in an anxiety-neutral condition. An anxiety-neutral condition using limited skills of ours. Using limited skills of ours to deliver a steady performance without no risk. Essentially, it comes to the day-to-day job that we do, and we are doing it well. We are doing it every day, so we are not making mistakes. But we are not doing anything fabulous, so there is no risk to us, to our job, to our growth, to anything to what we are doing, so there is no risk. And at the same time, it's a routine thing. So this is the description of what is a comfort zone. You are pretty much doing the same thing again and again and again, and you are quite comfortable doing that. Now we can do this all our life, but we are bestowed with much more capabilities. And so why should we limit ourselves and keep doing the same thing again and again? As I said, the description says with a limited set of skills. Now we are endowed with 100% skill. We use 20% and we are quite comfortable with it. Why should we be comfortable? We always yearn for something better. So we should look at enlarging. Now, before we look at how to come out of the comfort zone, the next question is, how do we evaluate ourselves whether we are in a comfort zone? How do we understand that we are in a comfort zone?
Yes.
Now, number one, you are doing your existing work very easily. I mean, you do it very fast. You have no problem to do it. It doesn't excite you anymore. I mean, you are doing the same thing again and again. There's nothing new or fresh about it. So you're quite comfortable with it. And at the same time, it doesn't excite you. Initially, when you started doing it, people said, okay, you're doing a good job, very good, and all that. But over a period of time, those appreciations have tapered down and it is few and far between. So people don't appreciate you so much frequently. I'm not saying they don't appreciate you, but they're not appreciating you so frequently.
True.
And you have not done anything new. You are doing the same thing again and again. So it's a routine. And whenever somebody comes up to you for something new, you say, no, this is difficult. I can't do it. Because your mind is so accustomed to doing the same thing again and again that you no longer want to do something new. So if you put this in a matrix that your work is routine, you are easily able to do it, it no longer gives you excitement, it is not giving you frequent rewards and appreciation, you are not doing anything new for a long time, and you are always saying no when somebody asks you to do something different. If you are in this matrix, then you are in the comfort zone, and you have to start thinking of moving out.
Yes. Wonderful insights shared, Mahadevan sir. To easily analyze oneself, start with the self-assessment is what you're sharing. That's really great. And I can really understand that work is routine or not giving rewards, or maybe if we ourselves are not getting more happier about it, definitely that means we are under the comfort zone, you're saying. Good one. So in fact, maybe even comfort zones could be to initially just to add on Mahadevan sir, as what you shared is very, very excellent. small points where we are comfortable, not comfortable, and if we really want to move away from comfort zone. Even I would like to share, maybe at the end I would like to share, but not now. However, with such important inputs which you have given us, how one can identify ourselves in a comfort zone. We'll move ahead to the next question, which is more and more deeper. For the next question, we have one of our member, Mr. Lakshmi Narasimhan, is here with us. And Lakshmi Narasimhan is a consultant for Tata Trusts. And he is here to ask the next set of questions to us. So Lakshmi Narasimhan sir, yes, you are here, sir.
Yeah.
Thanks very much, and over to you for the next question.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah.
You have given some good insights. I have one question, sir. What are the steps, sir, and how can we move away from comfort zone? To give this, it will be useful for us to start with.
Yeah. See, okay, the steps are pretty much straightforward. But before we get into those steps, we need to understand, well, why should we move out of the comfort zone? We are pretty much good. Everybody, we are doing our job easily. We are not going to be sacked from our job, or we are not going to do something wrong in whatever we are doing. So why should we move out of our comfort zone? See, for this, you need to have a life goal. I mean, a life goal in the sense for your profession, or it can be even for your life, personal life. You need to have a goal. If you don't have, first, that goal needs to be fixed. This goal can be something like recognition and reward in your profession. Like, I need to become so and so by this time. I need to earn so much by this time. Or I need to have my own business, say in 10 years or 15 years from now, right? Or somebody who is not in business and profession, they can say, they may have a quest for knowledge. You have scientists who are having their quest for knowledge. I should learn this, I should learn that, right? Or you want social workers, who want to be of service in the society. I want to do this, I want to serve people like this. Or you may be an adventurer who want to travel the world and see and learn. So you need to have a life goal. Only if you have a life goal, there is any meaning to change yourself. If you don't have any goal, you're pretty much good in what you are doing. So you need to fix that goal. Now, once you fix this goal, any management lessons typically say when you ask for what are the steps to say come out of your comfort zone, they say it is like you change your daily routine. Don't do the same thing again and again, right? Learn something new. Face fear, because fear, when you do something new, you will fail. You might fail, and you should not be afraid of that, right? So these are pretty much straightforward steps. But then, change your routine means what will you change? Unless you have a goal, you cannot then work out on what you will change, right? So the goal becomes very, very important. The life goal becomes very important. From the life goal, you can then define, depending on what you have taken as your goal, you can take steps of what you should, how you should change your routine, what new learning you should do. Otherwise, you can't go and learn anything in life. It doesn't help you. You could go into learning something which you may not use also. So you first have to define your life goal, and that is very, very critical, right?
Yes.
Now, let's take the example of somebody who says, okay, I want to become the CEO of my company by someday, right? Anyway, you have to start the process. The process has to start today. The goal is to become a CEO, but the process has to start today. Now, the first thing that you look at is, okay, now today I'm doing a job, right? And we all do jobs where our own role is our goal. I mean, somebody gives us the input for that. Then we do our work. We give the output of this to somebody. But the entire job is not our goal. I mean, the assignment is something bigger. The guy in the beginning who gives you an input is playing a role. The guy, after taking your output, does something else with it and turns it into a final product. So the final product or the final service that is assigned is the goal. Whereas normally what we do is we look at only our role as a goal. So typically you hear people saying, I have not got the input, that's why I could not do it. Or I have already handed over the output. I don't know after that what happened. Now the first thing that you need to change to reach your goal sometime is you should no longer look at your role as a group. You should look at the ultimate purpose for which you are doing that role as a group. The moment you start doing this, your outlook on your colleagues will change. You will no longer look at them to blame them for whatever is they have done or not done in your opinion. You will start saying, okay, yeah, give it to me faster because we need to finish it, right? Or you will, if you have a little bit delayed your output, you will tell the next guy, my dear friend, I have delayed it a little bit, but kindly help me and get this completed on time. So our outlook will become the ultimate goal dependent, and it will no longer depend on our goal. I think this is the first change to be made in order to succeed in coming out of our comfort zone. Now, this is pretty challenging. We will come to those challenges later, but I think now we need to broaden our role, look at the goal for which we are doing our particular goal. If you're doing a product, the product is our goal. Just if you are doing the design may not be our goal. Somebody will manufacture and somebody will deliver and so on. So we have to look at it in totality. We have to work with our teams. So this is what we have to do. And when we do this, our routine will automatically change, right? We will have to now accommodate delays from somebody or some shortfall in work from somebody else, talk to them, make it up. So our routine automatically changes. And when we go there to talk to them, we will understand a little bit. They will tell us what their problems are. Now, at a very minimal level, we will understand those problems. So then we are learning something new, right? And when we are able to achieve the result, we are no longer afraid of the result. I mean, initially there will be a challenge in this process, but once we get over this, in my own experience, I have found that you are guaranteed an almost 100% success. If you understand things and take up, you're guaranteed 100% success once you're out of it.
Wow.
Thank you.
Great, sir. Very detailed explanation, which will also help us to think and start in the way what you have told. Sir, I have another question. What are the challenges when we move out of comfort zone? Similarly, what are the fruits that we may get when we move out of comfort zone? Can you please enlighten us?
Yeah, we talked about the steps in the previous question
Yes.
that you asked. Now, I made it very simple in the sense you look at the goal and so on. But typically what happens is when we go and ask the guy before us who has to give us the input, he says that is none of your business.
Correct.
When I am ready, I will give it to you. Normally what do we do? We say, okay, fine. When you give it, I will do it. I will prove to the management that it is not my fault. That is our mindset. So we need to come out of this mindset. Now we need to engage that guy positively. He may be negative towards us, but in our own interest, because our goal is ultimately to become the CEO of the company or somebody big, in our own interest, and we need to achieve the goals that we have set. So in our own interest, we have to engage him, right? Understand. So I'm not trying to blame you, I'm just trying to understand. You have to engage him in a conversation and understand, and maybe in some cases you will be able to help him also, right? The same is when you are giving your output to the next guy. Sometimes you might do it well, sometimes you may not be able to fulfill it in entirety. So or in time. So you will have to go and talk to him and say, okay, please. So managing your partners in the assignment in a positive way, engaging your partners in the assignment in a positive way is a very big challenge. You will initially have a lot of pushback. I mean, 100% guaranteed that there will be pushback. So you need to overcome that. You should not say, what can I do? I tried what Mr. Mahadevan said, but it did not work. You cannot say that. You have to engage and you have to work. So this is one. But as you go through, and the second problem that you will find is, all this takes a lot of time, right? By going and talking to him and convincing him, taking it, your time is occupied more and more in that assignment. Whereas earlier you were doing only your role with some amount of time easily. So this is going to occupy a lot of time and this will frustrate you. You will start saying, why should I spend time for somebody else's mistake? This is the second big mistake you can do, saying that this time is a wasteful time. This is actually not a wasteful time. It is a very precious learning time, right? Really. Because in life, whether it is at home or in social circles or at job, if you can't interact and successfully interact with your partners, you can't succeed. So I think this will also lay a foundation to a very good learning scheme. So the additional time that you take should not frustrate you, right? Now each assignment will give you some learning. So let's say you're doing a project or you're doing an assignment today, and now you looked at this assignment as a goal and you started working. The first time it was a failure, second time was better. In a few experiences, you will learn how to deal with people, you learn not to get frustrated. You would have also learned a lot of things from them about your colleagues' work. So you're learning about other areas of work. So as you go up the ladder, this learning that you've got about various departments other than yours, various people, the way they work other than yours, will all help you, right? So these are typically, the shortfalls. The challenges and how to overcome them, I said, I think it is only by your willingness to stay to your goal. I mean, if you have a goal and if you practice this, I have found that it gives you a certain very high level of success. I mean, more than 90% level of success. And that should motivate you to bear with this shortfalls.
Okay. Good, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Over to Mr. Prakash.
Oh, good. Thank you very much, Lakshmi Narasimhan. That was really good.
Prakash, I'm sorry to interrupt. Yeah, just one thing before on the
Please.
question of Mr. Lakshmi Narasimhan.
Yes.
See, typically one of the challenges when interacting with the team is a very important factor in your success, or even to come out of the comfort zone, because you have to make the team your strength rather than your weakness. So to a great extent, it is important to build trust. I mean, if you have to build a team, you have to build trust, right? In order to build trust, you should avoid unnecessary talk. I remember when I was a management trainee, my initial year, we all friends used to go out for having a cup of tea at the end of the day so that we could come back and start to work for another 2 hours. And during that time, we discuss about everybody in the company, what they did, why they did this, we criticize all managers. But after some time, I found that it is only leading to some negative impact inside, because we talked about, some way the guy gets to know, and when you go to him for some work, he doesn't cooperate with you. So it's important that you try to cut unwanted politicking to a great extent, right? I am not saying that you should not have a friendly chat or comment about anybody. As long as they are present in the group, you can do it, because they will also enjoy it. But this is one trait which will also be important to get out of the comfort zone and get real benefits.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Over to Prakash.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Vivid description you have given.
Thank you very much, Madhavan sir. That was an excellent live example what you're sharing, which is very, very necessary, in fact. Good one. So, in fact, Madhavan sir, as you shared these 2 points, we will also quickly now go ahead with a quick quiz to all the participants or all the members who are in here, as well as the visitors who have joined us for the first time. So for the quiz, I would request one more member. But before that, let's quickly highlight, last week we also had a quiz winner. So let me share the last week's quiz winner. I will kindly share the last week's quiz winner. So every week when we conduct a quiz, yeah, I believe there was a short network down and I went back again in. So he's Mr. Prabhakar G, who was the
Voice breaking. Voice breaking. Voice breaking, sir.
My voice is breaking. Okay. Thank you very much. I will share it with David. Mr. David?
Yeah, I'm
here, sir, but you're breaking, sir. I'm here.
Sir, voice breaking, sir.
Prakash sir, I'm here.
Go ahead, David sir. Please go ahead. Thanks very much. Thanks, Arul, for sharing the screen. So let's see about the quiz question this week. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I think we're having a real thought-provoking session today with Mahadevan sir, with his experience and background. So I have only one question. Are you all ready, participants? Right. Okay. I think all of you have unmuted yourself. You can unmute yourself. I think that option is given for us. And let me ask you this. Sir, initially in the session has given a definition, a simple definition, textbook definition of comfort zone. What is that he meant?
That's a very challenging question, I believe you asked, David sir.
It's just a two-line thing. Of course, yes. I think someone typed here behavioral state of mind. That's true. What else? Within behavioral. Okay, I'll give you a clue. Behavioral state of mind within which we work. Anyone else?
I think Mr. David, I only can answer the question now.
So please go ahead, sir. It will be wonderful to hear it from you again.
Yeah. Okay. I think it is a behavioral state of mind. That is the state of our mind, using limited skills of ours in an anxiety-free manner, anxiety-neutral manner. And we don't have totally no anxiety in this way or that way, negatively or positively, and with a no-risk approach. Our state of mind, when we do our work with a limited set of skills and in an anxiety-neutral approach and with a no-risk or reward type of thing.
Yes, sir. I think Yugandhar actually touched the first point, which is very important, behavioral state of mind.
Wow.
And everything follows after that. Actually, is right.
So what do you suggest? So we'll go ahead with Yugandhar, is it?
Yeah, he's one who first typed the behavioral state of mind. Actually, the rest follows,
True. Rightly told. Right. So then that means we'll go ahead with Yugandhar for this week's quiz winner. Is that okay, David Silveraj?
Sure, sir.
Okay, great. So congratulations Yugandhar for at least partial answer was there, but still the partial answer is very, very effective. And I'm sure you would be getting the book, The Mask Leadership as Complement. Great, Yugandhar. Kindly type clap, clap, clap. So the members will definitely know what it is. But for the visitors who joined us for the first time, every week when we conduct a quiz, the person who has attended the quiz and shared the answer gets a prize as compliment. So wonderful, David Silveraj sir. Thank you very much. And
Prakash, I'm sorry to interrupt. Can I take just one minute to conclude my presentation? See, I think why move out of the comfort zone? And many of us, one thing we feel is, okay, we have reached a certain place. Let us live our life like this, no problem. But I would like to leave all of you with this thought. Now, all men are born equal. We are all having enormous capability. Nobody has more and nobody has less when we are born. Now, we limit ourselves by what we set our goal as. So if you set your goal high, nothing is out of our limits. So and for all this, the basic thing has to be that you have to come out of your comfort zone. So think about it. I will leave you with that thought. Thank you very much, Mr. Prakash, for this nice presentation that you organized today. Thank you.
Thanks, Mahadev. But I believe we have a couple of more questions, Mahadev. If time permits.
Sure. Go ahead.
We'll also give other two more questions are there, and I'm sure we'll be able to complete. I completely understand there is a challenge with timelines, but definitely we will do so. And thanks very much, David, for taking up the quiz as well, and that was really great. Thanks, Yugandhar. And Mahadev sir, David is in fact the director for Phoenicia Facility Management Services, and he takes care across South India. So we have one more question. So other members as well as visitors, so you also feel free to ask questions if you have. Now we are open to questions to Mr. Mahadevan. But before that, Mr. Ramakrishnan also had two more questions he wanted to ask. So let's take Mr. Ramakrishna's question first.
Sir,
And-
Raguraman, I would like to.
Raguraman sir, I will give you sir before that.
Okay, fine, sir. Thank you very much.
I'll
Sir,
definitely-
good evening, sir. Good evening, sir. I am very happy to connect with you. It is a very eye-opening session. We heard about the comfort zone. So, would you please share one of your reality example when you came out from the comfort zone, sir? Okay. I have to give you a background to that. I don't know whether how much time is left. See, I come from a very large joint family. We were in Vellore. The family was something like 30, 35 people living in a very large house. So even in my own class, there were 3 from my own home, right? So if you go to school, we have 3 or 4 of us in the same class. We have about 8 or 9 in the same school, right? And when we come home, there is a sort of large space to play. So within our house or opposite house, there are 2 teams for cricket, right? So I've lived my initial part of life like that. Now, when I came out for a career in Chennai, the biggest challenge for me was I had a fear of failure. Right? We have always lived in such an environment that of course, we did very well at school and all that, but still, we are now in an open sort of jungle sort of thing, and the fear of failure was very high. And the other thing was, at the same time, I did not want to become a failure. While there was a fear of failure on one side, I certainly did not want to end up as a failure. So this was a counterbalance. And my initial job was something like I joined as a management trainee where you are supposed to do what you are assigned to normally, right? But in the year I joined, the company that was Western Crompton, as you saw from the presentation, got some very big projects. And they just assigned me as a project manager for this project. So I am a management trainee learning my job, and suddenly I'm thrust into a project manager position, going and meeting directors of SAIL and so on, Steel Authority of India and so on, which were top companies at the time, and talking about the project status, convincing them you are doing a good job. This was a very big challenge to overcome, because you had to be, it's not a job that I could do myself. I had to get a lot of support from my teams to do it. And that helped me a lot to build my confidence, because that I could convince such people. But I worked very hard. I worked very hard at the back to understand everything. I would prepare a lot before I go. I would not tell the company that somebody did not do this. I always went to the meetings with an impression that it has to go well. I mean, I will not go there to give an excuse that somebody else did not do the job. So I always had an approach that I will do well. So this was a very big transformation in my life, that in the first year itself, I got such an opportunity to do big things, right? And after that, sort of, there was no looking back. In fact, there was only one instance in doing what I was doing. Before I went to one of these meetings, there were some big delays from one of the other departments. I was in the projects team, and there was a design department where there were a lot of delays in drawings. I went and met that manager and told him that, all these are delayed. And he said, no, you don't come to me. You're a management trainee. I told him, if you're not going to give me a commitment date, I'm not leaving this place. So he picked up his phone and spoke to my manager and told him, what is this guy? He's coming and disturbing me. I will not allow him to do that. I told him, anyway, I'm not going. So finally, the frustration, he called his assistant and gave me the commitment dates and all that. And then when I went back, my manager called me and he said, Mahadevan, you have done a wonderful job. This is the first time anybody has questioned that fellow. Now, my intent was not to question him. I had no intent to fight with him or anything like that. My intent was to do the thing properly. He had to give commitments, and I was not going to accept it. And I just went with that mentality. I never looked at the hierarchy or something like that. So and when I got praised for that, not only from him, from quite a few managers in the company, I realized that if you do what you have to do, initially there may be some opposition. But after that, everybody falls in line. And that is how I was able to set goals higher and higher. I would always see what is the end result in everything that I did. the other instance was, I then changed my job. I took up a job with Energy Systems. And at that time, it was one or two, I don't know, a 5 crore company, I think 5 crore company. Today, it's a 3,000 crore company. So my chairman called me one day and said that we now need to supply our product overseas and you take up the overseas marketing. Now, we have just started and he wanted to sell an engineering product overseas. And in the 1990, nobody would touch an Indian engineering product outside India. I started doing this job. I used to go to the Indian consulate and request the commercial attached there that can you recommend our name to the clients here and all that. They would say, no, we have had very bad experiences with Indian companies. We cannot recommend. You go directly. If they give the order, you take it. So then I would go directly. I would fix appointments, go meet, present. It took quite a while, 2-3 years to break this thing. But today I can proudly say that, in areas where they would not even allow us to enter, we are in some geographies, we are the #1 company in the world. Right. So again, it is something that, if you set your mind to it and you don't worry about, somebody will find fault with you or something, the sky is the limit for achievement. And again, I don't see that I have achieved something big in that. I've just set my goal and I have not done anything fabulous or anything like that. I have stuck to my goal. I set a goal and I stuck to it. It's pretty much what I've done. And most of my success is attributable to that.
Great.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Very nicely.
Right. Thank you.
Sir, one more question, sir. Any visitors or members would you like to ask any questions, sir?
Yes, Ramakrishnan sir, Mr.
Now I can only say.
One last question, Mr. Raman alone adds.
Okay, I come to the next question. Sir, what is your message you would like to share with our community and visitors?
Yeah, I did already, in the sense that, let's understand that all of us are born with equal capabilities or abilities, right? It is not that one is superior and one is inferior when they are born. Somebody may be intelligent, somebody else may be hardworking, right? That might be the difference, but otherwise, overall, the sum is the same. Now, where does the difference come that Mr. Dhirubhai Ambani has reached somewhere and we are somewhere else? It is in how we limit our thinking. I mean, let's face it. How can a petrol pump attendant or a newspaper deliverer ever imagine to be the top 100 companies in the world? I mean, how would he have imagined at that time? Right? Because he never limited himself. So my suggestion to you is don't limit yourself in your thinking. You believe that you can grow to be big, you can grow to be strong, you can grow to be high into high place, right?
Great. Wonderfully shared.
Thank you, Shanmugha Prasad.
Great. Thanks, Ramakrishnan sir, for asking that excellent question.
Thank you.
And it's been really great honor. Thank you very much, Mahadevan sir. It was very wonderful, in fact, interacting with you. So for just quickly, let me summarize all the points for the benefit of all the visitors who are here today, as well as for the members. And we'll summarize and share with you on next week's guests who are there. And that's what we're going to do it. This is the 2 minutes. And Mahadevan sir, it was excellent. You started off with the definition for what is comfort zone means. And that's when you said the behavioral state of mind using limited skills and to deliver the state of performance, especially one of the very important points you told, without taking more risk. In fact, if any new challenging assignment comes, and that's when we stop and withhold ourselves and we feel that there is a risk involved. Why? I'm very comfortable with the situation. Leave as it is. So that's the very focus of what you have actually got it. Thanks very much for making us understand what comfort zone is. From there, we actually moved into understood as what are the key steps. And the steps is where until the end of the last question, goals, what we set has to be very clear. And the goals are set very clearly. I'm sure we are able to have more focus towards the goals that will drive us to identify more and more new opportunities and not going to leave us in the same place with comfortable zones. So that was a very important message you shared with us. And you also did give us a clarity when we know that we are in a comfortable zone, and you shared that are we doing same old repeated task where we are feeling a lot of anxiety? That means we are under comfortable zone and we need to move away from it. So that was wonderfully shared. And from there, we also moved into understanding more and more clarity about what are the fruits and what are the challenges. And what if we are moving away from the comfort zone? What challenges we will be gained? The challenges were really kept minimal, but you told that role is to only interact with our members very nicely. We need to be more positive with our team members. We need to sustain with them. Otherwise, our role is not to go grill with them, go gossip with them, go complain with them. But on the other side, you told that we need to support our team members because that's when certain key people may come in. So that was really insightful thought which you have given us. And one of the important points that you told, which is really striking my mind still, is the interaction with the team to build the trust. Definitely, we move away from the comfort zone and then start doing more new things. It's very challenging to build a trust of the person. And the more and more we are taking steps to build the trust, and that's when we are actually moving towards our goal, and that will really be able to helping us to achieve our final destination goals. And finally, your story, a real life story, was very, very inspiring for us, knowing more about how, and specifically spoke about the fear of failure, which is there within each and every person. And as you told, comfortability is a feeling. Fear of failure, fear is also another feeling. So, rightly shared.
One point.
Yes, please, sir. Please go ahead to add on.
I mean, it was not only the fear of failure. I mean, fear of failure was a major factor, but there were many other shortfalls, I would say.
Yes.
But when I got out of my comfort zone, these other issues vanished because, things like, your ability to communicate and all that, it all gets limited to exactly what you want to communicate because you know the goal. I mean, there are many people whom we meet in life who may not talk very clearly, but can convey the goal to you very, very well.
Okay.
Right? So you don't have to be an excellent communicator. You have to be able to communicate the goal. That's it.
Super.
So there are many other shortfalls which I might have had and might continue to have. All of them are swept aside just because you are walking out of your comfort zone and you are looking at the goal as a single objective. And your other shortfalls are, you don't have to too much worry about them if you practice this.
Yes. Great. So in other words, how do we overcome it? That's what you're highlighting. Very, very inspiring that you're able to do this, achieve it. And your episode has been really exciting. It's given a lot of deeper insights to all the members. So members, if a lot deeper insights you received from Mahadevan, please do write yes in the chat box. Definitely, it has given a lot of insights to me and sure to all our members it would have been given. So let me take the privilege of quickly introducing the next week's guest and next week's leader who's going to be with us, and the topic, a challenging topic which you're going to take. And before we share the next week's guest, for all the visitors who are here today, let me share quickly what we do. Every week after week on a Wednesday evening from 6:30 p.m. to 7:15 p.m., we invite a top management leader from a corporate company who comes here and shares the real life solutions, which actually gives you solutions for your real-time challenges. It could be on leading self, leading others, or leading your business. And if you feel any of the challenges on leadership, if you have, feel free to type their challenges on the site, themaskleadership.com. And we are accepting all the challenges and we invite top management leaders who are giving the solutions to you. So on that note is what we are going to introduce you the next week's leader and the topic. The next week's leader is Mr. Sahil Nair, the Senior Associate Director of HR from KPMG. And he is going to talk to us or share his experiences on fortune lies in follow-up. So we all understand that as we grow higher in the leadership career, we may think that why do I need to follow up with my subordinates? But here is where we have Mr. Sahil Nair saying that even as we grow higher the ladder in our career and our leadership roles, how following up with our subordinates, following up with our customers becomes very, very necessary and important for a leader's constant growth. And so stay tuned. The link for the next week episode is also on the chat box. You will be finding it, and feel free to also register for the next week, and feel free to also interact with us. My contact number also will be on the chat box you'll be seeing currently. Feel free to interact with us directly if you need any help from our side with respect to this episode. So with all that is where we are coming to end of this week's episode with our special guest, Mr. V.R. Mahadevan.
Prakash, if there are any more questions, you can send it to me. I will answer them and send it back to you.
Wonderful. That's really.
I think some of the questions we could not take. You send it to me, and I can answer it and send it
That's
back.
really grateful of you, sir. Definitely. So, members and visitors, if you have any more questions, please type them in the chat box. We will take those questions from the chat box and we will share it to Mr. Mahadevan, who will give you solutions for your challenges which you feel so. So great. So thank you. Thank you very much, Mahadevan sir. That was really insightful session. But Mahadevan sir, just a minute. Let me just check. Ms. Lalita is also here with us. Lalita is the person who has introduced me to you. I believe she is here. Ms. Lalita.
Yes, I'm very much here.
Wow.
Thanks, Prakash, for facilitating this session. It was excellent. It's really
Yes. Thank you very much, Lalita.
Thank you.
To Mr. Mahadev. Yes.
Thank you very much, sir.
It's been a deeper.
Thank you very much. And I think I am also a beneficiary of this, because the more you talk, the more you learn.
Oh yeah. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, Prakash. Bye.
Thank you. And we have one final thank you video for all, and we meet again next week. Please ensure all the members, please write all your action points or points with respect to your learnings on our logins which we have, so that it helps you. Let's not stop ourselves from listening. Let's go ahead to the stages of taking actions. So here's the thanking video for all. So thank you one and all. That's been really exciting. Thanks all the members. Thanks all the visitors who have been here today. We meet again next week, Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Thank you all.